Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see. I'm gonna give people a few seconds to get in. This is Soulful Conversations with Sharika Matthews, your life coach and relationship expert. So I'm gonna give people a few minutes to get in, but I promise you, when you tune in, as you guys are getting here and tuning in, you are going to love this particular conversation. Tonight, we are talking about the topic of men are out to take advantage of women. So I'm going to give people just a few more seconds to get logged in. You guys know I like to start on time. So if you're just now joining me, I want you to say hi to me in the comments. So because I can't see who is viewing right now. So if you just drop me a note in the comments and say hi, let me know that you're here, that you're ready. And also go ahead and grab pen and paper. You are going to want to take a few key notes here tonight as I am sharing this information. So let's go ahead and get started. So, as I said earlier, welcome to Soulful Conversations, the dating edition. My name is Sharika Matthews, your life coach and relationship expert. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Hey, Sean, how are you doing? So, I am your life coach and relationship expert, and I just want to say thank you for taking your time out with me this evening. Hey, Daylina, for taking the time out with me this evening. I know you have a busy schedule. I know it's Monday night. I know that we are just at the beginning of a very busy week. So I don't take it for granted that you are here with me tonight. But I promise you, every minute that you spend here with me tonight is going to be worth it. So the reason that I am doing this, hi Denise, how are you? The reason that I decided to do this video series called Soulful Conversations is because I have encountered so many women, especially in the past year and a half or so, where we are beginning to really struggle to believe that good men still exist. Hi, Angela. Thank you for joining. We are struggling to believe that it's really possible for you to have a loving, long-term relationship with a man who's committed to just you. We're struggling with that. And part of the reason is that we have a lot of negative dating experiences, right? Some of us have experiences with men who don't keep their word. They don't call us back. They don't tell the whole truth. Hey, Crystal, thank you for joining. Hi, Taiwanda, thank you for joining. We are experiencing men who are not telling us the whole truth about who they are or the whole truth about their relationship status. In the past, I have met men who lied to me about their age. They lied to me about their children or where their children came from. Like, there have been so many half truths and just bold-faced lies have been told. So I know what it's like to meet men that you feel as if you can't be trusted. And then there are other men who want all of the benefits of a relationship, but none of the commitment or the responsibility. And that's just part of the reason. Hi, Shamar. Thank you for joining. Hi, Katina. That's just part of the reason why so many of us women are having a hard time trusting men, and we are believing that men are out here to take advantage of us. I've even seen men use God and the Bible to take advantage of women. We all know the verse, he who finds a good wife finds a good thing. So what they do, they go out and find a good woman, which is you. They say, oh, she's wifey material. So let me hook up with her because I know if I find a wife, don't mean I got to marry her, but if I find a wife, she's a good thing for me and she's going to bring favor into my life. So they want to attach themselves to you for the blessings that you could bring to your life, but they don't ever bring anything to the table to help you become the woman that God created you to be. That's still taking advantage of you and using you for what you have to offer. Then I've seen men use the verse that wives are to submit to their husbands, but skipping the verse right before that that says that we are to submit to one another in love. And they miss the whole concept that men are under submission to God, which means they have to answer to God. They skip that whole part and just want you to submit to them. Do what they tell you to do without question and without having a voice of your own. And if you're anything like me, that's not going to fly very well, right? And then we've seen this scenario play out here recently. I ain't calling no names, But we've seen it play out here on social media here recently when a guy has been reckless with the company that he keeps and where he puts his private parts. And so he preys on a woman's Christianity to get her to stay with him and put up with that, saying that as a Christian, you're supposed to forgive and forget. Let me tell y'all, I have seen it, I have heard it, I have experienced it. If you can relate to any of these scenarios, I want you to type an amen in the comments. Because one thing that I do know here is that there's nothing new under the sun. We all share a common experience. And sometimes we get into this mode where we think we're the only ones who have experienced the heartbreak, where we are the only ones who have experienced someone lying to us. We are the only ones who have experienced someone taking advantage of us. And so I want to recognize that all of us, yes, I'm seeing the amen come in the chat. I want to recognize that we as women have seen it. We have heard it. We got the t-shirt to prove it. So if you are on here feeling as if that you are experiencing this by yourself, you are not alone. Just take a look at the comments and see how many women in the past or present has experienced one or more of these different scenarios. Now, I want to be clear here tonight. This is not my intention to come on here and bash men, but it is very poignant when you come here and you put all of these experiences together and you see how toxic these experiences are. You see how damaging these experiences are. So it's no surprise really that a lot of us, hi Tamiko, hi Teresa, thank you for joining. It's really no surprise that we have these belief systems. But my intent tonight for you is to help you make this shift so that you can have a different life experience and a different dating experience. And the first place I want to start this is really how we show up. You know, as women, we seem to be in this fight mode all the time. We are fighting for our dreams. We are fighting for a seat at the table. If you work in a male-dominated industry, you know what I mean. We are fighting to feel safe and loved in our communities, in our home, and in our workplace. We are always fighting for something. And that's what I call warrior mode. And then when you are in warrior mode all the time, you are rarely operating in your feminine, which is who you are as a woman. The essence of who you are as a woman is when you are able to flow and be at ease and be at peace and see things more from different perspectives. And when you are in warrior mode all the time, you are rarely operating in your goddess mode, which is who you were before you became human. It is your natural state. It is your God-like spirit. So in other words, you as a woman, you are a feminine warrior goddess who is always operating in warrior mode because you feel like you got to fight all the time. If you feel like you're fighting all the time, I want you to type warrior in the comments. I know I have some warriors in here, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you are working in corporate America, if you are a mother, you're fighting for your kids, you're fighting for different things. So I know I have some warriors here on this call. So type warrior if you can relate to feeling like you have to fight for your life, fight for your love, fight for the things that you are most passionate about. Hi, Ray. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Kim. Thank you for joining. Yes, I'm seeing people type warrior in the comments right now. So again, we are sharing a common experience here. So, so my intention for you tonight and for the next 2 nights here is to help you spend less time in warrior mode and more time as the feminine warrior goddess, as a whole woman that you were created to be. But let's be real. I may talk a good game, but let me tell you something. I know that it's challenging to shift from warrior mode, especially when you've been doing it for so long. We have been fighting since what, we were 4, 5, 12, 18 years old. We have been fighting a long time. And so it can be hard about that. It can be hard to change that perspective. And even when it comes to your dating and to your relationships, when you think about all the experiences you've had, you think about the experiences your mother told you about. You think about the experiences your grandmother told you about. You even think about the experiences your best friend is going through right now. When you look at all of this, it's it's really easy to believe that men would take advantage of you and that you can't trust them. And if you are operating in this mode, then chances are you are probably closing yourself off emotionally right now because you feel like you have to protect yourself. If you are holding on to this belief, you are in a high state of high alert because you're looking for the other shoe to drop. Like you have to be prepared in case something happens. And if you're holding on to this belief, you're always stressed. Whether you feel it or not, you're stressed because you don't feel safe in the presence of men. If I have said anything that's true here, type truth in the comments because I'm talking to you because I in you. I am talking to you because I can relate. I'm talking to you because I've experienced all this in my own life myself. But here's the thing. The biggest thing that you're experiencing right now is inner conflict. You're experiencing inner conflict because what you believe is in direct conflict to what you truly desire. Think about that. What you believe is in conflict with what you truly desire. You are experiencing conflict because you believe that men are out here to take advantage of you, but you want to be in a loving, long term relationship with a man. You believe that most men cannot be trusted, yet you want to feel safe enough in a relationship to just relax and be more feminine. You believe that men are out to break your heart if you let them, but you want to be with someone that you can grow old with. So you have these two opposing thoughts and desires, and it's creating inner conflict. It's creating a lack of peace, and ultimately it creates a lack of clarity. So I get it. I know where you're coming from. I used to hold on to the same belief myself, and at one point in time I was taught at a young age that men will hit you once and a man would cheat on you once. Think about that. That was told to me at a young age. And I believe that. And some of those beliefs followed me into my adulthood and followed me into my relationships that followed me into where I am right now. But things had to change if I wanted something different. But here's the shift that I want you to start making right now. If it was really true that men are always going to cheat, if it was really true that men can't be trusted, if it was really true that men are out to take advantage of you, then that would mean that every woman who's in a relationship right now is getting used and abused by her man. That would mean that healthy relationships do not exist. And that would mean that it is not possible for you to have a healthy, happy relationship. But we know that's not true. I guarantee you could think of at least one woman right now, past or present, who has had a healthy relationship. So we know that's not the case. But as we continue to hold on to these beliefs, as we tend to continue to be in warrior mode, as we continue to to fight for our life and fight for our love, it's actually going to end up sabotaging your dating life and your relationship experience. And the reason is the issue isn't that men are destined to take advantage of you or that men just can't be trusted. The real issue is that you don't trust yourself. Think about that. The real issue is that you don't trust yourself. And the reason that you don't trust yourself to choose the right man is because you have too many experiences with the wrong man. Forgive me for speaking so fast. I'm a little bit excited tonight. The reason that you don't trust yourself to choose the right man is because you have too many experiences with the wrong man. And because you have too many experiences with the wrong man, you now believe that men can't be trusted. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Does that make sense, you guys? Does that make sense? How believing that men can't be trusted and that men will take advantage of you is really a sign that you don't trust yourself to pick the right man, which is a result of your many experiences with the wrong man, which leads you to that belief, and it becomes a vicious circle of experiences that you desperately want to break out of. I'm seeing a lot of yes, I'm seeing a lot of truths here. Right. Again, we all are sharing a common experience. But the issue goes deeper than that. Did I tell y'all we was going to go deep tonight? If y'all are not ready for that, you might want to leave now. But we are going to go deep with this, okay? But the issue is really, really deeper than that, right? The issue, now that you are aware that you don't really trust yourself and that you have issues with men, it goes deeper than that when you decide you want to do something different. So now you're doing something different. You start this self-development journey and you're doing all the right things, right? You know, y'all see these books behind me. I'm the self-development queen. I read books, I listen to podcasts. So I'm sure that you can relate to this whole self-development journey that almost every woman has been on in her life. So you're reading books, you're going to virtual conferences, you are signing up for online dating. You even allowed, like, you know, your friends and family to hook you up on a couple of blind dates. And you're tuning in to me every night to listen to good advice, right? So you're doing all the right things that you know that you need to do in order to have a different experience in your life and have a different experience in your relationships. But nothing's working. Why is that? If you have pen and paper, I need you to grab it right now. The reason that none of this is working is because your beliefs will always outweigh your actions. I want somebody to type that in the comments. Your beliefs will always outweigh your actions. You see, your beliefs dictate your dominant thoughts that you carry throughout the day. And then your dominant thoughts you carry throughout the day dictates your actions and the spirit behind those actions. And then your spirit goes before you even get there to wherever you're going to go. So if you're carrying around this energy and the spirit that men can't be trusted, that men are going to cheat, that men are going to take advantage of you and use you, guess what? That's exactly what you're going to manifest. That's exactly it. And so that's really the root cause of all of this here is that your beliefs are outweighing, outvoting, it is outdoing whatever actions that you are wanting to do in your life. Is you whatever is implanting in your mind, whatever that you think about day in, day out, is always going to outweigh any good intentions you may have for your life and your relationships. But the mistake that a lot of us make is that we try to change our actions before we change our beliefs. That's why you're reading the books. That's why you're showing up here. That's why you've been going to conferences. That's why you've been sitting, you've been talking to old wise women. You are trying to change your actions before you change your beliefs. And if you try to change your actions before you change your beliefs, you're never going to manifest the life, the love, and the relationships that you truly desire. Right? So, in other words, you cannot change the fruits of your life until you change what's rooted in your life. Somebody type that in the comments. You cannot change the fruit of your life until you change what's rooted in your life. So let me ask you this question. What's rooted in your life? What seeds have been planted in your mind? What seeds have been planted in your subconsciousness? What seeds have taken roots in your mind that's truly weeds, that's choking out your hope, that's choking out your vision, that's choking out your desire? What's rooted in your life? Take a moment to think about that. So let me go back to the example I told you earlier. When I was young, I was told this, I was given this advice, or not really advice. I guess it was just wise words at the time. I was told that men will always hit you once and they would cheat on you once. That is what I was taught by someone who wanted the best for me. They weren't trying to sabotage my life. They weren't trying to sabotage my relationships, but they inadvertently planted a negative seed into my mind. That seed grew. That seed took root. That seed became a belief. That seed was able to dictate the action. It dictated how I dated. It dictated who I dated. It dictated how I showed up in my days. It dictated how I showed up in the world, because that one seed that was planted 30, 40 years ago, that was planted in my mind, that I began to nurture and water by having these negative experiences with men. And the more negative experiences I had, the deeper those roots became, to where it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I ask you this, and I want you to spend some time this evening to really think about this. What seeds have been planted that have taken roots into your mind, that your experiences have watered, that your experiences have nurtured, that's choking out your vision, that's choking out your life, that's choking out your passion, that's choking out your dreams, that's choking out what you truly desire for your life and for your relationships? Yes, my grandma told me all men would suck you dry and take advantage of you. Why? Because that was her experience. That was her experience. I'm going to share with you something that I heard. What was her name? It was a young lady from Houston, and she actually wrote. This is an excerpt from one of the books that she wrote, and she was telling about the how mothers would try to warn their daughters of pending danger, but not put it in context. So let me tell you the story. So let's say, for example, as a mother, let's say I'm a mother and I walk through this door every single day. Then one day I walk through the door and I slip and fall. Now I have this experience where I've been hurt. I twisted my ankle. All the bags I was carrying just fell all over the place. I have this bad experience. So my daughter is coming up now, right? And she's about to walk through this door. And I say, hey, hold on, stop. Don't walk through that door, because if you walk through that door, you're going to slip and fall and break your ankle. Was the mother wrong? Absolutely not. But was it the right perspective? The reason the mother tripped and fell was, one, there was water on the floor. Number two, she had too many bags in her arm and she wasn't able to brace herself. Number three, she didn't look before she stepped. There were a lot of things that were in place and around that contributed to her slipping and falling as she goes through the door. But she warns her daughter. She gave her daughter a legitimate warning and said, don't walk through that door, because if you do, you're going to slip and fall. And so the daughter goes her whole life not walking through that door because her mother told her that she's going to slip and fall. Was the mother wrong? No. Was the daughter wrong? No. The challenge is that there was a belief, there were actions, and there was no one took the time to ask questions, to dig deeper and to understand the root cause of that belief, what actually happened to create that experience, so that the daughter can have the data, the evidence, the knowledge to make the best decision for who she is right now, what her circumstances currently are. Because when she walks through that door, there is no water on the floor. There are no bags on her hand, and she's not wearing 5-inch heels. So she's not going to slip and fall if she walks through that door. So that's what I mean, is that, oh my gosh, Shamar, I just saw your comment. My grandmother told me that I was dumb and I would never have a man worth anything. I am so sorry that seed was planted into you. But let me tell you this right now, ma'am. You are not dumb. If you are created, then God created you with a purpose. God created you to do something and to be something in this world. See, God is not an accidental God. We may think that things are accidental and that babies are born accidentally and all that good stuff. But yes, you have to unlearn that and learn the truth about yourself. That means you have to pull up the weeds. And that actually leads me into what we need to do here tonight. When you have these seeds that have been planted into your life, that is dictating your beliefs, that dictate your actions, and now you're ready to have a different life experience, we have to start the process of pulling up the roots. It's just like when you have a garden. You plant your good seeds, but also there's going to be weeds in that garden. If you don't pull up those weeds, they're going to choke out the good plants. So what we need to do right here, right now, is we want to go ahead and start pulling up those weeds, because we cannot let these seeds continue to dictate our future. You want a different life. You want to have life. You want to have love. You want to have a relationship. You want to have passion. You want to have purpose. You want to live life and live life to the fullest in the way that God gave it to you. So it's time for us to claim it and stop letting these false beliefs, these good intentioned beliefs, dictate and keep us from having the life and relationship that we truly desire. So how do we do this? Number one, you have to know what seeds those are that you need to pull up. When you have a garden, the garden we're talking about is a garden of your mind. The garden of your mind is made up of so many different seeds and so many different beliefs. You have to first take the time to know what seeds have been planted in your mind. So if we use the example that men are out to take advantage of women, or that men can't be trusted, or men are going to cheat, what seeds were planted to give root to that belief? You have to first identify it. So that's step number one. If somebody can do that, if someone can type that in the comments, step number one is to identify the seed that was planted. Then step number two is that you want to pull up that roots, because that root has taken roots, for lack of a better word, in your mind. So how you do that is that you release your mental and your emotional attachment to that belief. You see, we often have these attachments to these beliefs based on who it came from. We hold on to what our grandmother told us because, that's my mom. We hold on to what our mother told us because that's our mother's, what we're supposed to do. So we have to release that emotional attachment to those seeds if you want to pull up the root. So that's step number two. Someone could type that in the comments, is to pull up the roots by releasing the mental and emotional attachment to it. Step number two. Step number three is to create a new belief. What do you want to be true for your life? Do you want to believe that there are good men that still exist? Then that's what you choose to believe. Do you want to believe that men can be trusted? Then believe that. What do you want to believe? Do you want to believe that it's completely possible and probable that you can have a loving, long-lasting relationship with a man who honors, cherishes, and protects you? If that's what you want to believe, then you have to identify and create that new belief. So that's step number three, is to create the new belief. Because in this step is important, and this is another step that sometimes we trip up on, is that we do the work to release the emotional attachment, pull up the weed, but we leave the hole. So guess what? Nature does not like a vacuum. Nature does not like empty space. So if you leave it empty, guess what? Weeds are going to come back there again. So you have to be intentional about creating a new belief and planting a new seed. So don't skip this step. You got to create that new belief and plant that new seed. So that's step number three. Step number four is gather the evidence. This is my favorite part. Gather the evidence to support your new belief. So when it comes to the belief that I had earlier about men will hit you once and men will cheat on you at least once, I had to gather the evidence. And that was a little bit of a challenge for me, because I remember, man, I got so discouraged, like in my 20s and probably early 30s, because some of the men that I looked up to in my life, I found out that in some shape, form, or fashion, they had not been 100% faithful in their relationships. So I was just really discouraged about that. And I was like, okay, God, I need just one. I need just one. I need to find one guy. I don't care how old he is or how young he is. I need to find just one guy to show me that not all men would cheat. I need one guy to show me that, that not all men will lie to me. I need one man to show me that not all men will take advantage of me. All I need is one. All I need is one. That's all you need is one. Gather the evidence to support your new belief. And this is important too, because remember, your old belief was a self-fulfilling prophecy. So for the last, 5, 10, 15 years, you've been gathering evidence to support that old belief because it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now you have to be intentional about finding the evidence to support your new found belief. Find the evidence, gather the data. And then step number five is to water and nurture the good seed. Don't let the weeds come in and choke out the seed that you just planted. So when I say water and nurture the good seed, identify that person. It could be, like you said, Rach, it could be your father, your uncle. It could be, one of your best friends. It could be a character in the book, for all I care. I don't care who your example is. You want to find that just one. And you nurture that seed by keeping it in front of you, by reminding yourself that yes, it is possible. Yes, it does exist. This uncle is an example of that. My dad is an example of that. My brother is an example of that. My teacher from college is an example of that. My mentor, then when I was first in the industry, is an example of that. Whatever, you want to keep that at the forefront of your mind, because the more you remember it, the more you see it, the more you interact with it, the deeper those roots are going to take into your mind. And the deeper those roots become, the more they're going to dictate your actions. And when they dictate your actions, they're going to dictate your spirit behind your actions, and your spirit go before you long before you physically show up. So now that you're starting to believe that it is possible for me to have a relationship, that some men can't be trusted, because mama didn't raise no fool. There are men out there who can be trusted. There are good men out there. There is someone divinely created for me. Your spirit goes before you, and your spirit is going to lead you down the best pathway for your life, and watch you progress, and watch you succeed, and watch you lay claim to everything that was created for you. So yes, step number 5, you have to water and nurture that good seed. Okay, so those are the 5 steps that you want to take in order to shift your beliefs, to change the fruit of your life by changing the roots of your life. Was this good, y'all? You guys are enjoying this so far? I'm seeing the comments here. Thank you for taking notes and writing the steps in the comments. Yes. So before I end here today, I got to give you homework, because I'm not just going to make you feel good. I want to help you do some of the work. So your homework today is that if you are holding on to this belief that men can't be trusted, or that men will take advantage of you, I need you to find the evidence for your new belief. So you do step 1, step 2, step 3, create that new belief. And then when you get to step 4, you have to spend time to intentionally find the evidence, find the data. All you need is one example to show you that it is possible to trust a man, to show you that it is possible to have a loving relationship, to show that it is possible, and you fill in the blank. And when you find that one example, I want you to come back to this video in the comments, and I want you to type "got it." That's all I want you to do, is type "got it." And the reason I want you to type "got it" is because there are going to be women who are going to see this video, and they're going to get to this part. They're going to be like, I don't know anybody. Who am I going to find that's going to show me that men don't lie? You know, my father was abusive. My uncle molested me. The men I've dated have always abused me, and I just feel hopeless right now. How can I find somebody? And when they see, thank you for typing that, Rachel. Rachel already got her evidence. And when you type in the comments, got it, you're showing someone who may feel hopeless that it is possible. That's why I need you guys to come back here and type it in the comments, because your testimony is going to encourage somebody else. Your testimonies could probably save somebody else from getting into a toxic relationship, from getting into an abusive relationship, because you're helping her plant a new seed that's going to take roots into her life, that's going to change how she shows up. It's going to change the spirit and the intent behind her actions. That is why it's important for us as women to come together in this community, to allow us to love on each other and support each other, and to let each other know you're not in this alone, that it is possible for you. And I, for one, have the evidence to show you. So that's why I want you to come back in here and type the word "got it." All right. Was this good for you guys? Type good or type something in the comments to let me know that this was good and that you took notes and that this was applicable to your life. I just want to know that I am on the right track and that this was really helping you. Because again, my intent here was to help you shift your perspective. Thank you for saying that, Teresa. Thank you, Tamika. Thank you, Denise. Oh, I can't keep up with this now. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Shamar. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. So if you think this was good, y'all, you better come back here for tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm getting all hyped and stuff in here. Let me calm down. Okay. Yes, thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Daylena. Thank you, Denise. Yes, I'm glad this was needed. Yes, yes. So I want you to come back here tomorrow. Tomorrow is day 2 of Soulful Conversations. And we're going to talk about a hot topic, y'all. One of the things that I've also noticed is that women, some of us believe that all you got to do is pray to God, and God's going to manifest their husband. And that could be the worst possible advice you could follow. But don't shoot me. Don't shoot me yet, y'all. Come here and listen to what I have to say about that. And just like today, we're going to do a deep dive into this thing, and we're going to pull back some layers, because you're going to experience a breakthrough today, tomorrow, maybe even Wednesday. I am here to help you shift and change your life. So also, thank you for the reminder, Tamiko. Let me know, what is your biggest takeaway? What was your big aha moment from today's lesson? I want you to type that in the comments right now. What was your big aha moment? Was it, changing the fruits? Changing the root in order to change the fruit? Was it your beliefs will always overpower your actions? What was your biggest takeaway? Or was it, your biggest takeaway was just seeing the number of women who are sharing your same experiences? So let me know in the comments, because again, you never know how your comment is going to bless somebody else. So let me know what you got. Let me see in the comments. So as you're typing yes, change my belief and not just my actions. Yes, that is a big one. You can't leave a hole empty. Yes, nature does not like emptiness, y'all. It's gonna have to be filled with something. My belief outweighs my actions. Yes, thank you. Unlearning. Yes, Shawan. Yes. So these are the things that I really hope you guys are writing this down. I agree, changing my belief. Yeah. So I really hope you guys are taking notes on this, because when it comes to notes and studying and having a change, you're going to have to review this over and over and over again. Do the work, put in the effort every day in order for it to take root in your life. Uprooting, change my beliefs and not my actions. Replanting. Yes. These are all key takeaways for you guys to apply to your life and to your relationships right now. So again, I would love to see you guys back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central. If you have not signed up for the wait list, I want you to go to the link in the description right now and sign up for the wait list. The reason you want to do that is, number one, you're going to get reminders of the upcoming live stream. Number two, you get a link to the replay. And number three, you are going to receive the early announcement of what I've been working on these past couple of months that I have created just for you, especially if you want to take an even deeper dive into some of these topics we're going into this week. All right, you guys, so click the link if you haven't already to join the waitlist. The waitlist is sharikaamathews.com/wait-list. I'll also pin in the comments as well, too. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me here today. Does anybody have a question about anything I've said here today? Does anybody have something they would like me to explain a little bit further before I end our discussion for tonight? Because this is a conversation, so I love feedback. Yes, Denise, change my belief and not my actions. Replanting, Shawan, Crystal, changing my beliefs. Thank you, Kim, for posting that. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., Soulful Conversations, day 2. And Denise, you said deprogramming what I was told. Yes, you have to pull up those roots if you want to change the fruit. All right, you guys, I don't see any other comments, but if you have a comment or a question you want to ask me, you can always send me a DM. If you're on the wait list, just reply back to the email and I can address your comments or your questions then. All right, you guys, again, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for another edition of Soulful Conversations. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.